Hello, art fans. Welcome to Art Smart. I'm celebrating both my state of Maryland and the Baltimore Orioles here, although the Baltimore Orioles don't deserve to be celebrated. They're just an awful baseball team. Right now in 2018, they're just bad. But anyway, today we're talking about the Warner Brothers Golden Collection, and we're talking about the cartoons in Volume 3. In fact, let me grab it because I forgot to grab it. This particular DVD series here is one of my favorites in this collection, so I think it definitely deserves a individual entry. I have talked about the Golden Collection before on Art Smart, and I've told you a little bit about why I think this collection of DVDs is actually better than the Walt Disney Treasures series, as it just gives you a little bit more information, and it's just much more in depth about the cartoons. I really enjoy these DVD sets. However, this particular set is really a standout in several ways. Why is that? Well, this particular DVD gives you information on all kinds of things with additional documentaries, which really makes it stand out. One is Chuck-a-Muck, which is a behind-the-scenes documentary about Chuck Jones, who is arguably the most famous, really, I don't think it's even arguable. He is the most famous director from Warner Brothers, and arguably the most important in the animation history. That part can be argued a little bit more. You have clips from the Bugs Bunny show, which is always fun and interesting. You do have cartoons that have audio commentaries like you do on all the other discs. But later on, you get into a more specific documentary about Bugs Bunny, which is a very nice one from 1990, a good documentary. There are behind-the-scenes featurettes on Bosco and Buddy and other black and white cartoons, which I think is really interesting because those are characters that are kind of forgotten in many ways. You have a documentary on Frank Tashlin. So he is one of the directors that doesn't get a whole lot of attention and play, but he is really important. And in fact, in many ways, he is just as important as Tex Avery and Bob Clampett in establishing the style of this particular cartoon studio. A very, very important director. And of course, there are just a lot of other really good things on here when it comes to their audio-only commentaries. Plus, you have some good cartoons, some really good ones. Let me give you a couple of them here. One of the Case of the Missing Hair, I think, is a great one. The Wabbit Who Came to Supper, very, very good stuff. When you get to the All-Star Cartoon Party disc here, Daffy Duck and the Dinosaur, I think, is one that it's public domain, but it's very nice here. You have Birds Anonymous, which won the Academy Award the year that it was released, which is a good one. Daffy Duck and Egghead is a important cartoon in the transition of the cartoon studio from kind of its early days into its golden age in the 1940s. You have a really nice collection of Porky Pig cartoons, just a nice variety of his later stuff and his earlier stuff when he was one of the biggest stars, as well as special features about him, and so on and so forth. This is just a really, really good series, giving you a great idea of how the Warner Brothers became such a wonderful cartoon studio, and this particular collection does a good job of showing you the early end of the black and white cartoons all the way up to their Academy Award cartoons of the 1950s. Just a wonderful variety on this disc, and if you're trying to just capture Warner Brothers in one collection, I would say this one is probably it, Volume 3. Hopefully this makes you a little bit more art smart, and hopefully you'll continue to come back to talk about art and cartoons. Bye-bye, everybody.